Every year, millions of babies are born prematurely. These tiny humans require specialized medical attention to survive and thrive. But did you know that chiropractic care can also play a critical role in their development? Hi, I'm Liza, a proactive mom of former MICRO PREEMIE. On this channel, I share my knowledge about all areas of developmental delays in preemies, health concerns, behavioral issues, and learning difficulties. Please subscribe to my channel if you're a parent of a preemie or a parent of a child who is at high risk for developmental problems. Today, I'm excited to discuss the benefits of chiropractic care. When a baby is born prematurely, they may have difficulties with feeding, digestion, and breathing. This is because their nervous system is still developing and may not be functioning properly. By gently adjusting their spine, chiropractic can help promote the proper alignment of their spine and nervous system, and by that improve the communication between the brain and the rest of the body. This connection is crucial for the future overall development and learning skills. Birth in its many different forms can be quite traumatic. A recent study by Dr. Viola Fryman demonstrated that 90% of newborns suffered effects of birth trauma associated with some sort of pressure to the neck and cranial areas. Even the most natural births can result in trauma that goes undetected. Left uncorrected, this trauma continues to impact baby's spinal growth and development, reducing the healthy functioning of the nervous system. This can cause many health challenges later in life that could easily have been prevented. Premature babies, they are at huge risk for nursing difficulties, reflux, sleep disturbances, and inability to be soothed and settled. Those are all potential signs of spinal nerve stress in infants. For example, if one of the cranial nerves, called vagus nerve, is compromised, it not only impedes the swallowing reflex, but also leads to overall unresponsive or overstimulated baby. This presents itself as colic, reflux, excessive gas, and combination of symptoms labeled as failure to thrive. Back in time, I had no idea about benefits of chiropractic care for children. Only recently, I took my son to a very skilled pediatric neuro-focused chiropractor, and I'm glad I did it. He evaluated my son and created a plan of care to reach the goals of improved emotional stability, self-regulation, as well as enhanced balance and coordination. I was shocked by one number doctor showed me. It was 500%, meaning 5 times harder my son's nervous system was working at that time compared to his peers. Just think about how hard he is working to regulate himself and perform daily tasks. Unbelievable. Preemies are fighters, survivors, and we as parents can help make their way to success in this life just a bit easier by taking them to a professional pediatric chiropractor. I asked Dr. Tygue, the owner of Synergy Chiropractic, to explain how he works with babies and little kids, what common conditions he successfully treats on a daily basis, what tools he uses to measure the progress, and how soon you can bring premature baby for first-time evaluation.
The children we care for show up with all sorts of symptoms, from babies with torticollis and plagiocephaly directly from the physical nature of the birth process. It is stressful. Stressful on mama is stressful on baby. To kiddos with reflux, colic, constipation, and babies that just don't sleep, that scream and scream and scream. And when baby doesn't sleep, mom and dad, good luck. All of these cases share a common factor in vagal nerve irritation and are closely correlated with birth trauma. Now, fast forward from the babies to the elementary kids that experience bedwetting, anxiety, emotional dysregulation, being wound up and exhausted at the same time, throwing tantrums that go off the charts, and in some cases, just an overall failure to thrive and be the kid that their parents know that they can be and that they are inside. We also see kids in the teenage years where there's an amplification of that anxiety. There's more withdrawal. There's depression. We see these kids loaded up on meds to try and balance out their stressed system. And while medications are sometimes necessary and they can save lives, there's often a giant host of side effects that we start stacking one medication on top of the other for trying to get rid of. And the root cause of this stressed, tired, unbalanced nervous system never gets addressed. The commonality in these cases is a progression that we see when we deep dive through the case history. Many times when we have a case where a pediatrician says a kiddo will grow out of the colic, the reflux, the constipation, screaming, well, they grow into sensory processing disorder, anxiety, ADHD, depression, behavioral issues, you name it. Now, our analysis and the deep dive into history are the two most important parts of our first visit. The tools that we use, because commonly parents will say, well, does anything hurt? I don't want to expose my child to any radiation. We don't do that here. We don't use x-ray because it's not necessarily warranted on kids, and it's definitely not warranted on pregnant moms. So this is what we use. We have 3 devices. The first one uses thermal readings from the nervous system. We look at both sides of the spine to make sure that we have an equal distribution and balance from the bottom to the top and from side to side, because we are symmetrical beings and there's a pattern that we should follow. That looks like this. It rolls up the spine and all it does is read. Some kids say it tickles, but really it's an easy test. The second thing we look for is looking at how well our body can process all the information coming up into our brain and put it out into energy. We measure this by looking at the stabilizer muscles of the spine to say, well, how much energy are we wasting and how can we better utilize that? What areas are we wasting more in? And overall, what is our total energy output compared to what it should be? In some cases, kids are moderately elevated. In some cases, kids are 5, 6, 700% where they should be. The way we look at that, just like our roller, we use this device that uses these little pads to measure electrical activity through the skin. Again, we're just reading, and we go up the spine to look at our distribution to make sure our bodies are symmetrical and also within the pattern that they should be. Now, the last tool that we use for adults looks like this. It's got 2 pads on it, and we measure the pulse wave through the fingers. For kids, it's a little bit different. We have a small little ear clip that they don't even really feel that measures the pulse at the earlobe, or we have a little finger sleeve. Through measuring the heart rate variability, we can get a good view on that sympathetic stress system and the parasympathetic rest, digest, chill out, sleep system. Look at the balance, see how they're functioning, and figure out which one needs the most love. A big question I get a lot is, well, when's the right time to check on this stuff? How soon is too soon? Is there a too soon? Well, we don't want to be too late. And I'd like to share an experience that my wife and I just had. We've had our son Benny for about 2 months now. It was a wild, awesome, amazing experience. I saw firsthand the physical stressors that were put on little Benny and his mom as I caught him on his grand entrance into this world. Minutes after his first breath, Benny got his first adjustment. Now, that first adjustment served 2 purposes for him. The first one was because of the intense pressure that he had just experienced coming through the birth canal to make sure that the upper cervical spine was free of restriction and he could move freely from side to side so that breastfeeding would be easy for him. The second, and equally, if not more important part, is to make sure that that upper part of his central nervous system could be clear of any irritation, interference, subluxation, whatever you want to call it, so that his vagus nerve was free and clear to begin the regulatory functions that he would now have to take over on his own. Benny takes the record for the youngest baby I've ever adjusted, but many new moms that we see in our perinatal chiropractic program bring their brand new bundles of joy in within the first few days after birth to ensure they're off on the right foot. So if you'd like to look at the health of your children through a little bit different lens, or you're looking to augment their healthcare with something a little bit different, neurologically focused pediatric chiropractic care might be just the thing for you. I've really enjoyed sharing this information with y'all. If you have any questions, please let us know how we can help you.
That was incredibly useful information. Please check out Dr. Tygue's brand new channel, Synergy Chiropractic, and learn more how your family can become healthier and happier. If you have a preemie or know someone who does, consider incorporating chiropractic care into their plan of care. It can be safe and effective way to support their growth and development. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, if you need help to find a practitioner in your area, or any other issues related to your little one's well-being. Bye bye. See you in my next videos.